get them to sign on the line which is dotted.
Welcome to the Nation of Jake on The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
all right. Let's go. It is the Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM 107.9 AM 990, online, KWAMTheVoice.com. We are streaming live on YouTube, the YouTube channel. Everything is working out just fine. Everything is streaming. Go to the YouTube channel. It is Nation of Jake there on YouTube. Also, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, both at Nation of Jake. And also on the Instagram, Nation of Jake. Wherever you go on the internet, Nation of Jake is probably me. On this Wednesday, July 17th, year of our Lord 2019, rain is gone. Out of here. The heat is back. 91 degrees, high of 93, feels like 103. Hope you're happy. All you people complaining about the rain, I was fine with it. Knocks down the temperature to the mid-70s. And all your HVAC systems don't have so much stress. I've got an HVAC issue right now. I'm told my HVAC unit, my AC is dying. The compressor makes some noise. It kind of goes as if it's in pain, and it sounds like it's dying. But my solution is to run that unit until it is dead. Do not pay a dime before the thing is gone. And that's what I'm going to do. And I've been told by HVAC specialists that is the perfect approach. Just let it explode and then call your home warranty guys and maybe get a discount. Who knows? We'll figure it out. Plenty on the agenda for today that does not include my screaming HVAC unit. Are Russians stealing your face for nefarious purposes? It's a good question, and it's possible, especially if you did that Face App challenge. Yeah, that's right. The Face App challenge. People are looking into their cameras on their phones into a Russian app called Face App. And it makes you look old. And everybody thinks it's funny to post photos of yourself looking all old until you find out that the app is run by a bunch of Russians. Now everybody's freaked out. So we'll get to the bottom of that in a little bit. El Chapo has been sentenced for drug trafficking. That trial ended months ago. He has been in a New York jail for months, complaining about the conditions, saying that he's being tortured with lights and music, and he can't sleep, and he's in solitary confinement. Well, he will be moved out of that Manhattan jail into a prison. For how long? We will talk about the old El Chapo sentence. And what happens to his cocaine fortune? When a guy like El Chapo, who has property worth upwards of $14 billion, what happens to all that when he goes away forever? We'll find out. Also, Bluff City Law, the NBC legal drama slated to air this September. It starts filming in Memphis, and you can be on it. That's right. You can get a part on Bluff City Law. Find out how in just a bit. And also, what is the best way to murder an iguana? It's a really, really good question, a tricky question. It's not easy to murder an iguana, but it is necessary in some parts of the country, and we will go over that as well. I found it interesting. I didn't know iguanas were a big problem in the USA. Apparently they are. And there are ways, specific ways, to eradicate iguana. So we will talk about that as well, as well as the news crews. We've got all the latest headlines from around Memphis and around the world. First up, though, the number one story of the day. I think we are in hour 79 or 80 of Trump tweet coverage. That's right. Just last week, we were talking about overcrowding at the border, but I guess that was a non-starter. I guess that wasn't outrageous enough for people. Overcrowding in the quote-unquote concentration camps on the southern border. Now we are at Donald Trump's tweets. All right, now this issue, from what I'm told, has been resolved. The entire scandal, the entire controversy, it's been resolved because the Democrats passed a resolution deeming Trump's tweets as racist. The tweets directed at the squad, AOC's squad, saying, go back to where you came from if you don't like the country or something like that. It's been decried as racist. Now, not just by Democrats, but also the media. I mean, they're just saying, oh yeah, it's either racist tweets, which I'm not so sure that the media is supposed to do that. I think the media is supposed to tell you what the tweets said and let you come up with your own conclusions on whether or not they're racist. But they're just telling you, yes, these tweets were racist. It is racist to tell somebody to go back where they came from. That is racist. You have to know that going in. But I'm not so sure that that is the journalistic way to do it. I'm not sure that those reporting about the tweets are the ones to determine whether or not they're racist. That should be up to you, somebody who is reading the tweets. Shouldn't it? Am I off base there? That said, they have been just universally decried as racist by media, by Democrats, some Republicans, and now the House of Representatives has passed a resolution deeming them as racist. However, there was drama with this whole deal yesterday. It happened after the program. We got word that it would be going on, but now we've got the whole story. The Democrat-controlled House of Representatives passed the resolution condemning President Trump's racist remarks this weekend, although the moment was largely overshadowed by a dramatic floor fight earlier in the day that ended with House Speaker Nancy Pelosi ruled out of order for a breach of decorum. Decorum? In the House of Representatives in year of our Lord 2019? What's that? I think the SS Decorum set sail years ago. I don't think decorum is really high on the list of things we look for in elected officials anymore. The unexpected mayhem in Congress, which briefly resulted in the revocation of Pelosi's speaking privileges on the House floor, left commentators and lawmakers stunned. So Democrats vote to break House rules and decorum so they can call Trump out on decorum. Surreal, wrote Wall Street Journal columnist Kimberly Strassel. The final resolution, entitled House Resolution 49, condemning President Trump's racist comments directed at members of Congress, passed by a vote of 240 to 187. All Democrats voted yay, with a handful of Republicans joining them. Representatives Brian Fitzpatrick, Will Hurd, Fred Upton, and Susan Brooks. That's a squad of people I've never heard of, and that's how I prefer my squads. Listen, have you ever heard of Brian Fitzpatrick, Will Hurd, Fred Upton, and Susan Brooks? That's because it's just 4 representatives that are probably not from your district. Therefore, you shouldn't know their names. They shouldn't be national celebrities. It's kind of like the anti-squad. Michigan Representative Justin Amash, he recently left the Republican Party. He's a libertarian. He also voted for the resolution. So there you go. 240 to 187. It is resolved. We should move on, right? No, we're not going to move on. Of course not. There was a big fight over House rules, which it was just really kind of goofy. They're saying that Nancy Pelosi, when she was presenting this resolution, called Donald Trump a racist, and those words on the House floor are not allowed and should be stricken from the record. And then everybody got really upset. And it's like, hold on a second. It's against the rules to call somebody a racist on the House floor, but the entire resolution was aimed at condemning Donald Trump's tweets as racist. I guess, I don't know. I guess it's the entire resolution breaks the House rules. I'm not so sure. These rules get broken all the time, but this is a political fight. It's 100% a political fight. I mean, whether or not people think this is racist, racially motivated, racially charged, it doesn't matter. It's just another way for Democrats to attack the president. They've been attacking his tax returns, his business dealings, the Hollywood, the Access Hollywood tapes, whatever it is. They'll attack him on it. And this was just another way for them to attack the president. And it's like, okay, you don't like him. Great. We get it. Issue resolved. But now there's a new issue. That's right. We're going to move on to the latest controversy with Donald Trump. It involves some video of Donald Trump at a party with women in 1992. And also at that party was Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, the accused sex trafficker. All right. He was convicted of some sort of prostitution back in 2003 or so, but this was from 1992. And so they're trying to draw an association with Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. They were at the same party 27 years ago. I guess they couldn't find any yearbook photos of Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein in chess club in high school, or better yet, checkers club, because nobody's going to give Donald Trump enough credit to be any good at chess. So we've got this video that's been unearthed by the folks over at Morning Joe, which is on MSNBC, and it's an NBC video. So it's kind of like, this is your own video. You found it. You dug it up from the archives. This is just a clip from the video. Here we go.
Before Trump opened the resort as a club, shows the future president surrounded by cheerleaders for the Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, capturing Trump's fun-loving bachelor lifestyle for an appearance on Faith Daniels' NBC talk show.
We're going to get great ratings on your show.
Trump is surrounded
by cheerleaders dancing. They all seem like they're having a good time. He doesn't seem to be raping anyone. He doesn't seem to be doing anything against the wills of these grown women who all look over the age of 18. And so at one point, he welcomes some guests into Mar-a-Lago there in, I guess, Palm Beach, Florida. And one of those people happens to be a younger Jeffrey Epstein.
It up with Jeffrey Epstein at Mar-a-Lago. This is video from back in 1992.
Wait, hold on. I thought he didn't like him.
No,
he never liked him, right?
Yeah. So they're doing something here that kind of is relevant. We're going to explain what the president was doing back then with the man he now says he was not a fan of.
They're talking. All right, so Donald Trump has said, look, I know Jeffrey Epstein. He was a fixture in Palm Beach. You know, he ran around in the same circles of really wealthy elites there in Florida. And he's like, but I never really cared for him. But now they're saying, you say you never cared for this guy, but here is a photo of you or a video of you at a party talking to him. It's like, hold on, have you ever talked to somebody that you didn't really like that much, but you were still civil? You were still like, yeah, I don't really like that guy that much. Yeah, I never really liked him. But if he was standing there, you might have a conversation about what's going on. If he was a guest at your home, or maybe he was brought along by somebody else, or maybe at some point you decided you didn't like him. Well, maybe some point after, 1992. Good Lord. So this is kind of like the bombshell. They want you, oh my God, look. How about you get those logs of Bill Clinton having flown on Jeffrey Epstein's plane, the Lolita Express, 26, 27 times. I mean, are you digging for that? Or you think that this is, oh my God, Donald Trump, he's right there with Jeffrey Epstein. Should we get a photo of every former president hanging out with Bill Cosby some 10, 15, 25 years before Bill Cosby was convicted of drugging women and sexual misconduct? This is thin. This is thin. Donald Trump wasn't hiding anything. He was at his club dancing with women, and it was all being filmed for a TV show. Faith Daniels' talk show, A Closer Look, for a profile on then the newly divorced Trump, who had just broken up, I guess, with Ivana or Marla Maples or whoever the hell he was married to in the early 90s. So this is already out there. But this is the latest thing. And then finally, we'll wrap up all the Trump stuff with they are going to vote on articles of impeachment this evening in the House of Representatives. Representative Al Green is introducing articles of impeachment Nancy Pelosi's just like, look, we don't know what we're going to do until we get on the House floor with it. I think that Al Green is saying, look, we're just going to go ahead on the heels of these racist tweets. We've got all this momentum. Let's go ahead and impeach Donald Trump, which is going to look pretty stupid if the Democrat Congress a day before condemns the racist tweets, but then the following day will not vote to impeach him. They're saying this is an awful guy who's a racist and we hate him. Many of the members of the House of Representatives would vote to impeach, but they're not going to get the impeachment articles passed. Not today. It's called overplaying your hand, and they're letting Al Green there in the House of Representatives do it. So that's the latest. We go from mean tweets, those get resolved through the House resolution to condemn them, to Donald Trump says he doesn't like Jeffrey Epstein, but they were at a party together almost 30 years ago, so they must be best friends because they were at a party together. And now, voting on articles of impeachment. It's going to be a hell of a day. And I guess we will see how it all shakes out this afternoon. Coming up, if you use the Face app to make yourself look like an old person, you could be at risk of Russians using your likeness to make fake Facebook profiles and then meddle in the election in 2020. How much truth is there to that? We'll get into that. Also, coming up next, Bluff City Law is starting to film here in Memphis, and you could be a part of it. Find out how next right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
KWAM The Voice is proud to turn our spotlight on Bartlett all this week. I'm talking with Mayor Keith McDonald.
There's so many great things going on in Bartlett right now with the new TCAT, Tennessee College of Applied Technology. That's an exciting opportunity. In the meantime, the high school's already doing joint enrollment with the TCAT. So we're really big on education. There's some wonderful opportunities. The medical device industry here is a burgeoning industry. You know, if you haven't been to Bartlett in a while, what you really ought to do is come take a look.
Spotlight on Bartlett brought to you in part by these great businesses.
Pop's Comfort Kitchen, your number one choice for a home-cooked meal. Located on Kirby Witten, next to Kroger in Bartlett. I love kickboxing in Bartlett, the best way to relieve stress while gaining strength.
If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, stop. Don't do anything until you talk to my man, James Underwood. James Underwood has been helping people like you navigate the Mid-South real estate market for more than a decade. So whether you're looking to buy your first home or you want to upgrade to your forever home, James Underwood can help make it happen. No gimmicks, no guarantees, just a rock-solid guy that I've known for 25 years. So now, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, hit up James Underwood with CryLike. JamesUnderwood.crylike.com. That's JamesUnderwood.crylike.com.
The special event florist for the Mid-South is Lynn Doyle Flowers. They are famous for creating incredible floral arrangements and are available to fill even your last-minute needs. From the simple to the magnificent, their staff can create unique arrangements for your special occasion. Flowers always bring a smile, make someone's day, and for fast, convenient delivery, call Lynn Doyle Flowers today at 901-323-4521 or visit their beautiful new location at 6225 Old Poplar Pike.
Is the constant hustle and grind of the day wearing you down? Why don't you take that stress out on a bag? I'm talking about I Love Kickboxing in Bartlett. I Love Kickboxing is one of the best ways to relieve stress while gaining muscle tone. I Love Kickboxing is an all-level, co-ed fitness kickboxing studio located at the intersection of Highway 64 and Germantown Parkway. Open every day of the week with class times designed to accommodate anyone's schedule. Find them on Facebook at I Love Kickboxing in Bartlett.
Strike up some fun with Andy B's, where entertainment, family, and fun is all wrapped into one. They have all the fun you need right here in Bartlett. Andy B's has nightly specials and a new lunch menu to fill your hungry appetite. Whether you are looking to unite your company in team building, have a birthday party, or a date night, Andy B's is where the party begins. Tell your friends to come and meet you at the B's. Andy B's Entertainment Center, bowling as it should be.
ATC Fitness would like to announce their new partnership with Silver Sneakers. That's right, ATC Fitness now accepts Silver Sneakers members. ATC Fitness is your local, family-owned 24-hour gym. Get started on the right track with their easy-to-follow instructions and demonstrations. Remember, if you are a Silver Sneakers member, come to any ATC Fitness throughout the Mid-South. Check them out online at atcfitness.com to find the nearest location to you.
All right, welcome back to it.
Yes, have some.
The Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990, online, KWAMTheVoice.com. Streaming live on YouTube, the YouTube channel Nation of Jake. Go subscribe to the channel and then sign up for the notifications. Every time I go live, you'll know about it. You'll get a notification on your phone. If that's too much to ask, just subscribe and then come on back and watch the show a little bit later. You can do that. Also on Facebook and on the Twitter at Nation of Jake. All right. It's big times for the film industry here in Memphis. You've got Bluff City Law is filming. You've also got Christmas at Graceland. Is that the other one, or is it Wedding at Graceland? Christmas at Graceland 2 is actually filming as well. So Bluff City Law is the legal drama starring Jimmy Smits and Caitlin McGee. It will be set here. It will take place here. It will be filmed here. And there was a lot of questions as to whether or not they would take it elsewhere. Like Atlanta. They're filming a lot of stuff in Atlanta. The show Ozark on Netflix is not filmed in the Ozarks in Missouri. It's filmed in Atlanta. There's a lot of other shows that were set in Memphis were also filmed elsewhere. I think that Memphis Beat was filmed down in New Orleans, as well as, there was The Blind Side. The movie The Blind Side, which is supposed to take place in Memphis, that was filmed in Atlanta. So this is big because a lot of business comes here, a lot of jobs, a lot of opportunity, and they got a lot of incentives to come and film here in Memphis. Okay, so they're going to film 72 shooting days through October. So people who do lights, people who do craft services, and people who work on sets, construction guys, they're all going to be lining their pockets with the opportunity and the money that's coming in with Bluff City Law. And this could do for Memphis what Nashville did for Nashville. The country music television ABC series Nashville, that went on for 6-7 seasons. People filming 10 months a year, making a good living. The majority of crew members will be from Memphis and elsewhere in Tennessee. Nashville-based Peter Kurland, he is an Emmy-nominated sound mixer. Oscar-nominated sound mixer. He's also the business agent for Local 492 of the International Alliance of Theatrical and Stage Employees. Okay, so this guy says, yeah, look, a show like this, say if it gets picked up for multiple seasons, could be a game changer for the film industry here in Memphis. So that's good news. All of it is good news. It's good for business. It's good for Memphis. I'm excited about the prospect of Bluff City Law being a good show and being around for a while. All right, he says it's got an economic ripple effect. It more than justifies the $4.25 million in financial incentives that state and local officials added to the subsidies already available to help ensure that Bluff City Law would remain in Memphis. Unlike the past projects like Memphis Beat and The Blind Side, I guess the state of Tennessee, city of Memphis, wouldn't come off the subsidies, wouldn't come off the incentives to do so. Now, there will be opportunities for local actors, which I think is awesome. I remember seeing a physics teacher from Germantown High School, Dr. Peppenhorst. He was in The Firm. No, I'm sorry. He was in Larry Flint. The People versus Larry Flint. I remember he was on a jury in that movie. I remember watching the movie going, hey, that's Dr. Peppenhorst back there. So he got his chance to be on the silver screen. You could have your chance to be on TV because Bluff City Law is looking for extras here in the city of Memphis. A casting company is looking for extras to work during production of Bluff City Law. On-location casting is seeking fresh new faces for the show. So if you got a fresh new face, you could be on the show. If you got an old busted face like me, There's no way. Nothing fresh about my face. Gray, bearded, grizzled. I don't know. Maybe that in and of itself is fresh and new. I guess fresh new face. I don't know what that means, honestly. So fresh, so face. Extras will earn $75 for an 8-hour shift plus overtime. Food will be provided if working a full day. Applicants must be at least 18 and have valid identification. The company says the application is free, does not require paying for the active upgrade feature. If you're interested in being an extra on Bluff City Law, you can complete a talent application at onlocationcast.us. $75 for an 8-hour shift. Now, from what I understand, my brother-in-law was in the film 21 Grams. Remember that one with Benicio del Toro and Naomi Watts? And that was filmed here. He was in it. He was dressed as a police officer, and he was told to direct traffic. He said it was the most unfun experience of his life. Not the worst experience of his life. He said it was not fun. He said it was cold. There was more standing around, for 7 or 8 hours doing nothing. And then when he saw the film and he looked for himself, he was a blur. He was a police officer who was, at a scene of an accident. And he was directing traffic around the accident. But they did it in such a way, it was like, I guess, called a swish pan. And he was all blurred out. So he's like, all that. He's like, I stood around for hours and hours. He was like, and the directors were mean to me. He was like, they treated me like dirt. And then I was a blur in the movie. He was very disillusioned with the whole experience. Now, my question here is, you've got Bluff City Law, NBC, coming in. They are getting subsidized by the state, city, and county to be here and do this, but they're paying $75 for an 8-hour shift. Now, I did the math. It's not exactly high-level math, but I did it. That comes out to about $9.30 an hour to go be an extra on this set of Bluff City Law. That's not a living wage. No, that's not even close. That's not even to the $11.02 that MIT says is a living wage in Shelby County, and it's so far away from the magical living wage expressed by County Mayor Lee Harris of $15 an hour. All right, so if Mayor Lee Harris of Shelby County is going to withhold funding for University of Memphis's Mike Rose Natatorium, then he should also withhold funding or any subsidies for Bluff City Law. If Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris will strong-arm his alma mater and former employer, maybe current employer, I don't know. If he will strong-arm the University of Memphis into changing their pay policy and have a plan to pay people $15 an hour for custodial work, then why wouldn't he use the same power of his office to strong-arm these interlopers from Hollywood into paying a living wage for these actors? These extras. These folks think, oh yeah, you're going to be captive. You're going to be here. You're going to come out regardless of the weather. You're going to sit around for a while. You're going to be filming. You're going to be doing things. You'll be working, but we're only going to give you $75 an hour for 8 hours of work. That is not a living wage. How do you expect people to do that? Why would somebody be expected to go out and wait around, be an extra, and do that kind of work for $9.30 an hour? Why would somebody do that? Oh, maybe it's because they want to break into the industry. Maybe it's for the chance. Maybe it's for the excitement. Maybe they'll get Jimmy Smits's autograph. Maybe they'll have access to craft services and be able to crush the buffet. There's a lot of reasons why people would take $9.30 an hour or just a flat rate of $75 for an 8-hour shift to be an extra in a movie. The real answer is, it's nobody's business why somebody would do that. It's not the place of the government, local, national, or otherwise, to tell people what they should or shouldn't make, how much money they should or shouldn't accept, what their living wage should or shouldn't be. But if we're being consistent, I think that Mayor Lee Harris of Shelby County, he should get on the phone with this on-location casting and demand they pay a living wage. Not just the living wage. Demand $15 an hour. That's what they should do. $120 for 8 hours of work. No less. Hey, they're getting public money. They're getting the subsidies. They're getting the tax incentives. There's no reason why Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris shouldn't be on the phone along with Jim Strickland, Governor Bill Lee. Say, hey, look, we gave you these tax incentives. We thought you'd be paying a living wage. We thought you'd be treating our people here in Memphis, our young, fresh faces. So fresh, so face. Treat them with dignity and respect. Yeah, living wage now for the extras of Bluff City law. Let's go. I fully expect Lee Harris, the Shelby County mayor, to come out and condemn, maybe even pass a resolution. Get this county commission to get on board. Condemn this pay practice by the folks at On Location Casting. $75 for an 8-hour shift. How are you supposed to feed a family of 4 on that? How? And this is people's dreams. Out there, a struggling actor, not paying them a living wage. I can't believe it. Revoke the subsidies. Get Bluff City law to go down to Louisiana. All right. Coming up, you do the face app thing. You got a kick out of it. Look at this. This is what I'm going to look like when I'm an old man. Share with the world. Well, maybe the Russians just got all your information and that you are now a de facto Russian asset. At least that's what people are saying online. How true is it? We'll tackle it next right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
CBS News Update. Life in prison plus 30 years. That's the sentence handed out by a New York federal judge to drug kingpin Joaquin Guzman, Homeland Security official Angel Melendez.
It's done. The book on El Chapo Guzman is closed today with this life sentence.
CBS's Jerika Duncan says prosecutors are pleased with the outcome.
They said this is justice for the American people. They described Guzman as somebody who had escaped authorities for years and years, had been dealing drugs, had been a part of this bigger enterprise, if you will, of people distributing drugs, not only to the people in Mexico, but also people in this country.
Defense attorney Jeffrey Lichtman called it a show trial.
I know that everybody's thinking, well, he's been convicted of these horrible crimes. Why should anybody care about it? Well, we care about him because we care about our system of justice here, and we want the right thing to be done.
CBS News Update, I'm Pam Coulter.
Where do you go when you have unwanted or outdated jewelry that needs to be transformed? Design Jewelers for 30 years has been doing amazing custom work. Just bringing the piece of jewelry, a picture or sketch of your design, and they will build that design on a computer in 3D and send to you for changes. Then you'll come in to see your design before it's finished. To see these unique custom designs, visit designjewelers.net. That's designjewelers.net.
Hey, Monica, have you decided yet?
You mean college? I plan to study journalism at Southwest Tennessee Community College. They offer a new associate degree in communication, and I've always wanted to be a reporter.
I chose Southwest too. Their emergency medical technicians are in high demand.
Yeah, and I'm going tuition free.
See what your future holds at Southwest Tennessee Community College. With more than 120 associate degrees and certifications to choose from, Southwest is your best choice. Classes begin August 26th. Enroll today online at southwest.tn.edu or call 901-333-5000.
From the time your child is born, you start to prepare for your child's future. Their academic and faith journey begins in preschool and continues through the 8th grade and beyond. Emmanuel Lutheran School has been a part of the Memphis community for over 40 years. With their strong academics, Christian faith, and athletics, Emmanuel Lutheran School is all about faith, family, and future. Emmanuel Lutheran. Call today, 901-388-0205, 901-388-0205.
First South has the best rates in town on mortgages, car loans, and CDs. Guaranteed. In fact, if your bank has a better rate, we'll beat it. Applying for a loan or opening an account is easy. Just stop by any one of our banking centers or go online to firstsouth.com. Enjoy the positive difference of banking with First South Financial. Banking with friends since 1957.
This is Clark Howard. You know, bankers every day wake up thinking, what new fee can we dream up? What new gotcha can we create to take advantage of our customers? And that's why credibility of banks, trust in them, is so extremely low. Well, one of the larger banks in the country, Discover Bank, has decided they're going to eliminate all gotchas, all junk fees entirely. That if you do business with Discover Bank, it's going to be a straight up clean deal. And we've looked through other banks that claim that they have no fees, and nobody hits the full free deal that Discover has. So if you're looking for a place where you're not going to get thrown a curveball, where they're not going to take advantage of your wallet, look there. And if you're an investor, similar kind of offers available from Charles Schwab.
The backyard's looking great, Rob. Thanks, man. I was planning on adding a deck, too. Know any good contractors? Why don't you just ask Home Advisor? Home what? HomeAdvisor.com. You just tell them about your project and they match you with local pros that can do the job. Nice. Now, how much does it cost? Oh, Home Advisor's totally free to use. Plus, you can read customer reviews, check pricing, and book appointments for free. What's the website again? HomeAdvisor.com. Or just download the free Home Advisor app.
Home Advisor. Have you heard what President Trump said recently?
Newsmax, you like Newsmax. I like it too. I like it too.
Now you can watch Newsmax TV and get the truth about Trump from Bill O'Reilly, Mike Reagan, Alan Dershowitz, Pat Buchanan, and more. Newsmax TV is America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in 70 million homes. Find Newsmax on DirecTV, Dish, Xfinity, Spectrum, Optimum, Fios, Uverse, and more systems. See Newsmax TV today. It's real news for real people.
All right, welcome back to it.
Yes, have some.
The Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990, online, KWAMTheVoice.com, streaming live on Facebook. Just go find Nation of Jake there on Facebook, subscribe, tell your friends to do the same. All right, if you're scrolling on your Twitter, your Facebook, your Instagram, you can find me on all of those at Nation of Jake. You're probably seeing people looking old and busted. That's because there's an app called the Face app, and it'll make you look older. It'll make you look like you might in 30 years or so. It's the latest trend. It's trending now, Face app challenge. What you do is you get this app, and you let it take a photo of you or give it access to your camera roll. You upload a photo into the app. It uses an algorithm or some artificial intelligence to, I guess, extrapolate what you will look like in the future. And people look like Sean Connery, people looking old, people looking good, people looking bad. Either way, everybody's having a lot of fun with it, but it's been pointed out on social media the past few days that, hey, this is a Russian company. This Face app is made by a Russian developer, and you've just given them your likeness, and you've signed over your rights to your photos, and they can use it for whatever they want. That's right. The Russians can use it for billboards, for advertisements. They can use it to build phony Facebook pages so they can, once again, meddle in the elections, sow discord over social media, and you're just giving them your information, not just your photos, but all the metadata, where the photo was taken, all kinds of information. You're just handing over to the Russians. Man, sounds scary. Sounds like something out of a 1985 Cold War propaganda film, doesn't it? Well, it's sort of true. All right. We've got the rundown of what is fact and what is fiction about the Face app. All right, the viral app uses artificial intelligence to produce startling altered portrait photos. It's been blowing up on social media. Users have been sharing images of themselves and celebrities digitally aged or made younger. I guess it can go, it's like a time machine. It can make you older, it can make you younger. Now, the surge has sparked cause for caution when using the app amid various claims, including that the developers have ties to the Russian government, are creating a massive trove of faces for surveillance purposes, and are secretly stealing your phone's data. Oh, all right. So what's really true? Let's separate the fact from the crap when it comes to this Face app. Is Face app Russian? That is true, yes. It is Russian. Yes, the Face app is Russian. It was developed by a small team from St. Petersburg. They claim to have built the tech in-house using some open source AI technology. Of course, counter to what many alarmist tweets might have you think, being Russian doesn't automatically make you a spy. Again, this is not 1985. The 80s called. They want their foreign policy back, Mitt Romney. Oh, the Russians. Look, I operate on, yes, all Russians are spies until they prove otherwise. And that is just being safe. That might be xenophobic. I don't care. Condemn me in a resolution if you must. Better safe than sorry. The Russians are our enemies. Dirty Ruskies. Can't trust them. But it's something to keep in mind, given the difference in regulatory checks and balances between countries. So that's right. This might be just a Russian company, but we know that the lines are blurred between the free market and the old government in Motor Russia. If Putin wants those photos, if Vladimir Putin, he wants the information from FaceApp, he will get it. Why does the name sound familiar? FaceApp, well, it was in the news in 2017. Then they were realistically changing genders or tweaking their selfies to turn frowns into smiles. And it's just a filter, like on Snapchat, like on Facebook. They've all got these filters. My kids play with these filters all the time, but not anymore because now all their information is being stolen by the Russians. We've got, does FaceApp keep my pictures? You retain the rights to your images, but yes, they keep a copy. FaceApp uses a very complicated algorithm to edit the photos, which are not installed locally when you install the app. Your images must be uploaded to a FaceApp server for processing, meaning a copy of your photo is sent to developers. Is it a privacy concern? If you're using pictures you've already put online, like on Facebook profile picture, Instagram selfies, probably not. Because honestly, you've already uploaded your life to the internet. I mean, do you really think you have any privacy anymore? I mean, unless you have declined the pressure to sign up for social media. Look, I've been on MySpace, I've been on Facebook, I've been on Twitter, I've been on Instagram. I don't have any assumption of privacy anymore, and it's all due to my own. It's all a problem of my own making. I mean, we have all jumped online, and we have in one way or another given these companies our information, access to our information, and most of the time it is for advertising purposes. So they can run it through and they can show you ads. So when you search something on Google, then you go on Facebook, you see ads for all those things. You search hardwood floors, they're going to try to pitch you hardwood floors because they know what you're interested in. They know your habits. They know where you are online. It's just market research. So, I mean, this app is no different, except this app is Russian. And the other privacy concerns. Well, the app's privacy statement is vague, which is not a great sign, especially combined with the fact it does not explicitly tell users it will be uploading their selfies. The terms indicate it also keeps metadata from photos and may identify or track you with cookies, which sounds delicious, by the way. Track me with cookies. All you got to do is just leave a trail of them. I'm all over it. Nom, 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 nom. Give me a cookie. It says it will not share or sell your photos, but data it collects from you could be anonymized and used for advertising or other purposes. That's what they all do. So you're probably okay. Maybe don't give every app out there access to your camera roll or let them in your phone just because everybody else is doing it. If you want to see my Face app, you can go to my Instagram. Just go to Nation of Jake on Instagram. You can see my face app. I look just like the creepy old man from Poltergeist 2. Henry Kane, you're going to die in there. You are going to die. If you remember Henry Kane from Poltergeist 2. Creepy old bastard. All right, coming up, what's the best way to kill your iguana? That's right, your iguana, or the iguanas that are infesting your yard. We have snakes here in the area. After all the wet weather and the rain, they're seeking the high ground. Well, iguanas are a problem in other parts of the country, and there are specific guidelines on how to murder these invasive iguana, and I think this is something you need to hear. Just in the event you come across an iguana wherever you are. All right, we're going to do that next right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
KWAM The Voice is proud to turn our spotlight on Bartlett all this week. I'm talking with Mayor Keith McDonald.
There's so many great things going on in Bartlett right now with the new TCAT, Tennessee College of Applied Technology. That's an exciting opportunity. In the meantime, the high school's already doing joint enrollment with the TCAT. So we're really big on education. There's some wonderful opportunities. The medical device industry here is a burgeoning industry. You know, if you haven't been to Bartlett in a while, what you really ought to do is come take a look.
Spotlight on Bartlett brought to you in part by these great businesses.
Karaoke Cafe. Join them for good food and great fun. You can even bring the family. X-Lines, best pizza in town. 6250 Stage Road in Bartlett. Or online at xlinespizza.com.
3, 2, 1.
This summer, buckle up for the journey of your life at the Pink Palace family of museums. Blast off with Apollo 11 First Steps Edition on the giant screen at the CTI Theater. Travel back in time with the Making Memphis Bicentennial exhibit. Experience the newly renovated Pink Palace Mansion. Come enjoy history, science, nature, and so much more. This summer, travel from Memphis to the moon and back at the Pink Palace family of museums.
When's the last time you looked at the windows in your house? Not through the windows, but at the windows. Really looked at them. There's dirt, streaks, buildup, smudges, fingerprints, paw prints, spider webs, dead bugs, those little white speckles. I have no idea what they are, and who knows what else. Now, cleaning all the windows in your house makes a big difference, but it's also a big job. That's why you need Just Windows Home Services. Just Windows has been taking the pain out of window cleaning since 1992. Just Windows cleans all types of windows, storm windows, screens, skylights, interior, exterior, upstairs and down. Now, I know I told you the company is called Just Windows Home Services, but they do a lot more. Roof and gutter cleaning, pressure washing, mirrors, blinds, ceiling fans, light fixtures, chandeliers. Look, if you've got hard to reach areas of the house, then you need Just Windows Home Services. Call for a free estimate, 751-3934. That's 751-3934, or get them online at justwindowsmemphis.com. That's justwindowsmemphis.com.
It's summertime and everyone is out mowing, trimming, blowing, and more. Whether it's residential or commercial work, your equipment is vital to your performance. Bartlett Small Engines have been serving the Bartlett community for over 45 years. They do even more than repair small engines. They carry the major brands for lawn equipment, garden, home needs, and even have generators with a parts department on site. Call Bartlett Small Engines today, 901-386-9779.
Hi, I'm David Weimer of Weimer's Jewelry. We are your hometown jewelry store where all our work is done on site. Ring sizing, chain repair, stone setting, and custom design are just a few things we do. Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Stage Road, in the shops of Appling Way. David Weimer here, inviting you to come by and see our new line of Citizen watches. Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Stage Road, in the shops of Appling Way.
ATC Fitness would like to announce their new partnership with Silver Sneakers. That's right, ATC Fitness now accepts Silver Sneakers members. ATC Fitness is your local, family-owned 24-hour gym. Get started on the right track with their easy-to-follow instructions and demonstrations. Remember, if you are a Silver Sneakers member, come to any ATC Fitness throughout the Mid-South. Check them out online at atcfitness.com to find the nearest location to you.
If you're in need of a professional cleaning service that takes your business as seriously as you do, call Jan Pro Cleaning Systems today. They understand how important it is to establish and maintain a professional image. That's why they offer the Jan Pro Signature Clean and the Jan Pro Guarantee. From regular scheduled cleaning to the tough stuff like stripping and waxing, buffing, carpet extractions, and detail cleaning, Jan Pro does it all. Call today for a free, no-obligation quote. 901-683-4900. Insured and bonded for your protection. Jan Pro Cleaning Systems. Measurable cleaning, guaranteed results.
Miracle Method of Memphis North reminds us that we all benefit from a strong military. Sending a soldier a care package can make their time away from home more pleasant. Call your local veterans organization for more information. This message is from Miracle Method of Memphis North, your solution for all your residential and commercial bathtub, countertop, and tile refinishing needs, offering non-acid bathroom tub refinishing. Call 901-791-2629. Paris, Calvin, and the staff salute those who make our country stronger.
All right, welcome back.
Yes, have some.
Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM at 107.9, AM 990, streaming live on YouTube. Now, we talked yesterday about the snakes. A lot more snake sightings here in the Mid-South due to a wet 2019, 12 to 24 inches more rain through July, what's today, 17th, than in 2018 to this point. And so we've got a problem with snakes going on. Trap them. Call a professional, whatever, but what if that is an iguana problem you have? All right, now down in Florida, there's an invasive species of lizard, the iguana. Now, they thought there was a big die-off back in 2010, and there was, due to cold weather, but they're back. There's like an infestation of iguana going on, and so the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission is saying, hey, kill iguanas on your property whenever possible. All right, get rid of them. They're a nuisance. Get out of them. Get rid of them. Get them out of here, okay? Well, PETA is not so happy about the instructions to kill iguana without specific instructions on how to kill these iguana. Which, honestly, what's to say about iguana when PETA is like, hey, go ahead and kill them, but kill them with kindness, is what PETA is saying. PETA's saying, look, if you're going to tell people to kill iguana, at least tell them how, so these little guys don't suffer so much. Check it out. In 3 months, 38 iguana were caught in traps. 800 were caught by hand. And so what do you do when you catch an iguana and the Florida Wildlife Commission is telling you to kill them? Oh, just any old way? No. It's very specific. There are many ways to kill your iguana, but there are also some ways that are illegal and can get you in hot water. You can kill your iguana with a gun. That is fine. A captive bolt pistol. You can use cerebral electrocution and blunt force trauma, but you have to be careful. Because they say that blunt force trauma to an iguana, you do it once, it's euthanasia. If you do it twice, it's animal cruelty. So it's very tricky. You cannot drown your iguana. You cannot freeze your iguana. You cannot decapitate your iguana, but you can put it in a cooler with carbon dioxide or dry ice and asphyxiate the iguana. I just want to go to Tijuana and eat barbecued iguana.
CBS News at the top of every hour. Serving Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas. The latest news stories are here. This is KWAM Memphis.
This is CBS News on the Hour. Real news, real reporting.
I'm Pam Coulter. A vote on Texas Democrat Al Green's drive to impeach President Trump could come today, but it is not expected to pass. CBS's Stephen Portnoy has more.
The single impeachment article drafted by Texas Congressman Al Green points to the president's recent tweets.
What we have done so far does not fine him, and it does not remove him from his job. You would lose your job.
Green says Mr. Trump's bigotry constitutes a high misdemeanor.
When your misdeeds are such that you cause harm to society, you can be impeached if you're the president of the United States.
Assuming it doesn't pass, the resolution could be rejected, tabled, or kicked to the House Judiciary Committee. Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, the White House.
Federal prosecutors say the life sentence given to Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman is justice for Americans. The sentence handed out in a New York federal court. Ariana Farjado Orshon is the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Florida.
This is the only sentence that can be given to somebody who has spent a lifetime poisoning the streets of our community.
Guzman complained the trial was unfair and he had been tortured in jail. CBS News legal analyst Ricky Kleeman.
Because life is life in a mandatory way. You cannot get paroled from this sentence, and he is going to be sent to a maximum security prison, likely Supermax, I would think, in Colorado. Well, he will literally never see the light of day.
Paul Giroge lost his wife, 3 children, and mother-in-law in one of the 2 crashes involving Boeing 737 MAX jets. He told a House panel Boeing only apologized at the Paris Air Show.
It's hard to trust Boeing, with their apologies, given that they've not reached out to us.
CBS's Chris Van Cleve says it was an emotional hearing.
It was clear that members of Congress, as well as the packed House, were listening very closely as Mr. Giroge addressed the Transportation Committee. I watched several people wipe tears from their eyes as he spoke.
The MAX planes remain grounded. Dangerous heat is affecting more than 135 million people from Arizona to New York. Milwaukee's mayor has issued a heat advisory for the next 2 days. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio says the temperature could hit 100 there on Saturday, and he urged people to find air-conditioned rooms.
Take this heat situation seriously. Take precautions, particularly when it comes to folks with any kind of vulnerability.
The Dow is down 75 points. This is CBS News.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
You probably want to eat healthy, but getting enough organic fruits and vegetables into your diet every day is not only time-consuming, it's expensive. That's why at Texas Superfood, we've created a blend of the best USDA organic, vine-ripened fruits and vegetables, powerful enzymes and probiotics, and energizing herbs, all in a convenient capsule or powder. We call it Texas Superfood Complete Organic. Hi, I'm naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, and I invented Texas Superfood almost 20 years ago with one goal in mind: to help people like you who lead busy lives get the all-natural nutrition that every one of us needs and deserves. So if you can't, won't, or don't eat all your organic fruits and vegetables every day, Texas Superfood Complete Organic makes eating healthy easy. See our full line of quality nutritional products at TexasSuperfood.com or call us at 855-TEXAS-55. That's 855-TEXAS-55. TexasSuperfood.com.
It takes more to feel rich nowadays.
A new survey from Ameriprise Financial finds only 13% of Americans with $1 million or more in assets actually feel wealthy. A company VP tells USA Today it's mostly because people are afraid of running out of money when they retire and having to rely on savings instead of Social Security and work pensions. There's also that looming tax bill on 401ks and IRAs. 7 out of 10 who say they do feel wealthy with $1 million in the bank chalk it up to detailed financial planning. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
One of the Los Angeles houses that was the site of murders carried out by Charles Manson followers is up for sale again. The 2-bedroom home in the Los Feliz district is where Leno and Rosemary LaBianca were killed in 1969. It's priced at almost $2 million. The listing agent says he noted on the multiple listing service that it's the LaBianca house and the agent should do research before showing it. Pam Coulter, CBS News.
There's nothing like meeting face-to-face, and there's nothing like Zoom to make that happen. Zoom lets you connect and do business across town or around the world. Zoom ties together all of your communication needs into one easy platform for video conferencing, phone calls, group chat, webinars, and your conference rooms. Connect easily from anywhere, your mobile phone, your laptop, or conference room. Zoom is how business gets done. Get your free account at Zoom.com today. Meet happy with Zoom.
Do you owe more than $10,000 in back taxes? The IRS has special programs in place that can eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. With a call to ATA, you can stop the wage garnishments, levies, and tax liens now. The IRS is currently accepting reduced settlements and other favorable programs. You may qualify for substantial savings, so get the help you need. If you owe the IRS $10,000 or more, call ATA to see if you qualify. 800-805-1055. That's 800-805-1055. 800-805-1055.
Jay, I need my money. You want to work here, get them to sign on the line which is dotted.
Welcome to the Nation of Jake on The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
All right, welcome back.
Yes, have some.
The Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990, online, KWAMTheVoice.com. We're streaming live on the YouTube channel, Nation of Jake, one word, run it all together, Nation of Jake. You can follow me on Facebook and on Twitter at Nation of Jake, as well as Instagram. You can see my Face App Challenge. I look like the old man from Poltergeist 2, Henry Kane. Remember when Henry Kane followed little Carol Ann home, standing there in the rain? This creepy old guy. Fun fact about the actor who played Henry Kane in Poltergeist 2, he was terminally ill. He had cancer, and he decided to forgo his treatment so that he would get skinny and appear emaciated and even more creepy. That is being dedicated to the role. I mean, that deserves more than the $75 a day that these actors in Bluff City Law are being paid, these extras. Not even paying a living wage for extras in Bluff City Law here in 2019. $15 an hour should be the minimum wage, especially for any operation that is taking public funds, subsidies, or tax incentives from Memphis and Shelby County. All right, we're going to talk to Frank Colvett Jr. about that in just a little bit. And also, City Council met yesterday. City Hall is falling apart. When it rains, the place leaks. There are multiple buckets and trash cans catching water that was leaking. Pieces of the marble outside, I believe, are falling, creating a hazard. What the hell is going on with City Hall? Why is that crumbling? Shouldn't we take care of that? We'll talk to Frank Colvett Jr. in a little bit about that, among other things that transpired during the City Council meeting yesterday. We do have this. This is news today, breaking just a few hours ago. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman sentenced to life in prison. All right, we knew that he was tried in New York. We knew that he was being held after he was found guilty on multiple counts of drug trafficking and other crimes. The Mexican drug kingpin, El Chapo, has been sentenced to life behind bars in a U.S. prison. I think life plus 30 years. A humbling end for a drug lord once notorious for his ability to kill, bribe, or tunnel his way out of trouble. A federal judge in Brooklyn handed down the sentence Wednesday, 5 months after Guzman's conviction in an epic drug trafficking case. The 62-year-old drug lord, who had been protected in Mexico by an army of gangsters in an elaborate corruption operation, was brought to the U.S. to stand trial after he twice escaped from Mexican prisons. Before he was sentenced, Guzman complained about the conditions of his confinement and told a judge he was denied a fair trial. He said U.S. District Judge Brian Cogan failed to thoroughly investigate claims of juror misconduct. El Chapo says, "My case was stained and you denied me a fair trial when the whole world was watching. When I was extradited to the United States, I expected to have a fair trial, but what happened was exactly the opposite." The guilty verdict in February at Guzman's 11-week trial triggered a mandatory sentence of life without parole. So this is really not a surprise that Guzman, El Chapo, will spend life in prison. That's the mandatory sentence for his crimes, but he's getting life plus 30 years. The evidence showed that under Guzman's orders, The Sinaloa cartel was responsible for smuggling mountains of cocaine and other drugs into the United States during his 25-year reign as drug kingpin. They also said his army of sicarios was under order to kidnap, torture, and murder anyone who got in his way. And we're talking about these stories that we see on shows like Narcos or in movies like Traffic. Bad guys. Bad guys. I mean, this is a ruthless drug kingpin who would feed his enemies to tigers. He would use his jewel-encrusted weapons to murder and torture people who crossed him, or even people he thought crossed him. How many times you see a guy who gets offed by the cartel just because they don't believe him? They don't believe him. No value for human life. Now, wary of his history of escape from Mexican prisons, U.S. authorities have kept him in solitary confinement in an ultra-secure unit at a Manhattan jail and under close guard at his appearance at the Brooklyn courthouse where his case unfolded. They're not letting El Chapo escape again. In fact, experts say he will likely wind up at the federal government's Supermax prison in Florence, Colorado, known as the Alcatraz of the Rockies. Most inmates at Supermax are given a television, but their only actual view of the outside world is a 4-inch window. They have minimal interaction with other people and eat all their meals in their cells. This is not like you get at Gen Population, Gen Pop. It's not like you go into a lunchroom and you get to beat people up with those trays. It's not like it is in the movies, man. This is pretty much solitary confinement for the rest of your life. The trial was dominated by Guzman's persona as a near-mythical outlaw who carried a diamond-encrusted handgun and stayed one step ahead of the law. The jury never heard from Guzman himself, except when he told the judge he would not testify. But evidence at Guzman's trial suggested his decision to stay quiet at the defense table was against his nature. Cooperating witnesses told jurors he was a fan of his own rags-to-riches Narcos story, always eager to find an author or screenwriter to tell it. He famously gave an interview to American actor Sean Penn while he was a fugitive, hiding in the mountains after accomplices built a long tunnel to help him escape from prison. That's got to be one of the craziest things about the tale of El Chapo, is that when he was on the run after having escaped from a Mexican prison, that Sean Penn was able to catch up with him and interview him for a magazine. Spicoli, Jeff Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High, somehow was able to get connected to El Chapo, head of the Sinaloa cartel, who routinely murdered and tortured people. Sean Penn. And nothing happened to Sean Penn for that, by the way. I guess it's not illegal to surreptitiously go meet drug lords in the mountains after they escape from a Mexican prison multiple times. At the trial, Guzman's lawyers argued that he was the fall guy for other kingpins who were better at paying off top Mexican politicians and law enforcement officials to protect them while the U.S. government looked the other way. Yeah, that's right. And that's a good defense. Oh, the other kingpins set me up. You see, they were better at kingpinning than I was. I'm just El Chapo, the baddest man ever, the kingpin of kingpins. These other guys, they were just better at paying protection and cooperating with the U.S. It was a conspiracy. I mean, I'm the best at moving product and sending the cocaine and doing the murder and the torture, but they were better at paying off all the top officials. I was a lower level kingpin. These guys are the ones you want. That's not going to work, El Chapo. Your story's been written, boss. I do not see you escaping from the Supermax. All right. However, what's going to happen to the cocaine empire? What's going to happen to the riches? When we read about El Chapo and his diamond-encrusted handguns, what's going to happen to his some $14 billion in assets? Well, Ted Cruz has reintroduced the El Chapo Act. He did this after El Chapo was found guilty, and he's doing it again today. He's proposing they seize El Chapo's assets for funding for the border, including the border wall. You talked about Donald Trump wanted $5 billion for a border wall. Well, El Chapo's got $14 billion. Assets worth $14 billion. Federal prosecutors are seeking a forfeiture judgment for the property Guzman gained from drug trafficking, that property valued at $14 billion. Now, Ted Cruz on Twitter has renewed his calls to use the money for border security. U.S. prosecutors are seeking $14 billion in drug profits and other assets from El Chapo, which should go towards funding our wall to hashtag secure the border. That's according to the Texas Republican. It's time to pass my El Chapo Act. And El Chapo, that is an acronym. It stands for Ensuring Lawful Collection of Hidden Assets to Provide Order Act. El Chapo Act. It would reserve any illegally obtained profits resulting from any criminal drug trafficking enterprise led by Joaquin Archivaldo Guzman Loera for border security measures, which could include a wall. This includes any funds forfeited by Guzman in this case or future cases involving his former associates. So yeah, do it. That $14 billion, that'll go a long way. Or use some of that for the wall, use the rest of it for the 9/11 victims fund, or responders, I'm sorry. I'll use it for them. Spread it around, man. Yeah, that's good stuff. Only after they're convicted, you take their stuff. Not just if they're arrested, but when they're convicted and sentenced, and they can't use the $14 billion, we should use the $14 billion. Come on, it's $14 billion. So there you go. That ends the story of El Chapo, at least until he escapes or he's found hanging in his cell. I don't figure we will hear from El Chapo much more. All right, coming up next, we're going to talk to Frank Colvett Jr. of the Memphis City Council. City Hall is falling apart. What's the deal with that? Memphis 3.0 and the plastic bag ban that they are discussing there within the City Council. We'll do it next right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
The Voice is proud to turn our spotlight on Bartlett all this week. Bartlett was first called Union Depot and Green Bottom and was the last major stagecoach stop by 1830. In 1866, with a population of less than 100, the city was officially incorporated and the name changed to Bartlett. Now, Bartlett is Shelby County's second and Tennessee's 10th largest city. Bartlett still preserves the small town spirit with a well-balanced city touch. Today, the landscape of Bartlett has changed as agriculture became second to business and industry. Bartlett, a growing community, keeping a small town atmosphere and continually enhancing the quality of life. Spotlight on Bartlett brought to you in part by these great businesses.
ATC Fitness in Bartlett, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now accepting Silver Sneakers members. Visit them online at atcfitness.com. First South Financial, banking with friends since 1957. Visit them online at firstsouth.com.
The special event florist for the Mid-South is Lynn Doyle Flowers. They are famous for creating incredible floral arrangements and are available to fill even your last-minute needs. From the simple to the magnificent, their staff can create unique arrangements for your special occasion. Flowers always bring a smile, make someone's day, and for fast, convenient delivery, call Lynn Doyle Flowers today at 901-323-4521 or visit their beautiful new location at 6225 Old Poplar Pike.
When's the last time you looked at the windows in your house? Not through the windows, but at the windows. Really looked at them. There's dirt, streaks, buildup, smudges, fingerprints, paw prints, spider webs, dead bugs, those little white speckles. I have no idea what they are, and who knows what else. Now, cleaning all the windows in your house makes a big difference, but it's also a big job. That's why you need Just Windows Home Services. Just Windows has been taking the pain out of window cleaning since 1992. Just Windows cleans all types of windows, storm windows, screens, skylights, interior, exterior, upstairs and down. Now, I know I told you the company is called Just Windows Home Services, but they do a lot more. Roof and gutter cleaning, pressure washing, mirrors, blinds, ceiling fans, light fixtures, chandeliers. Look, if you've got hard to reach areas of the house, then you need Just Windows Home Services. Call for a free estimate, 751-3934. That's 751-3934, or get them online at justwindowsmemphis.com. That's justwindowsmemphis.com.
Road trips, family reunions, pool parties, beach parties all have one thing in common. They all need snacks that come from Brim's. Brim's snack food has what you need. Cheese puffs, cheese curls, cracklins, cheddar fries, popcorn, pork rinds, potato chips, tortilla and corn chips, and more. Brim's snack foods have been providing employment for the Bartlett community for over 35 years, and their delicious snacks have been sold throughout the Southeast. Brim's Snack Foods, family owned.
Hi, I'm David Weimer of Weimer's Jewelry, reminding you that we supply and install watch batteries for just $6. Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Stage Road, in the shops at Appling Way. Weimer's Jewelry, where we offer quick, courteous service, ring sizing done in one day. Come by and see Reagan. She's 3 now, and see what she can do for you. I am David Weimer, inviting you to visit at 7525 Stage Road in the shops at Appling Way.
When you walk into Karaoke Cafe in Bartlett, here everybody really does know your name. And you never meet a stranger. Karaoke Cafe is a great way to have fun and bring the kids along with you. Karaoke Cafe serves a full menu including Mexican-American dishes and breakfast all day long. Make Karaoke Cafe, located on Stage Road in Bartlett, your next stop for food, friends, and fun.
3, 2, 1.
This summer, buckle up for the journey of your life at the Pink Palace family of museums. Blast off with Apollo 11 First Steps Edition on the giant screen at the CTI Theater. Travel back in time with the Making Memphis Bicentennial exhibit. Experience the newly renovated Pink Palace Mansion. Come enjoy history, science, nature, and so much more. This summer, travel from Memphis to the moon and back at the Pink Palace family of museums.
All right.
Yes, have some.
Welcome back to the Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990, online, KWAMTheVoice.com, streaming live on the YouTube channel, Nation of Jake. Run that all together, no spaces, Nation of Jake. You can follow me on Facebook and on Twitter, Nation of Jake. You can see what I look like as an old man on Instagram. Go to my Instagram account, Nation of Jake, and it's Wednesday, and it's a Wednesday after a City Council Tuesday. We like to check in with the goings-on of the Memphis City Council. We do that with the official Memphis City Councilman of the Nation of Jake, Frank Colvett Jr. Welcome back to the show.
Good afternoon, Jake. You know, if you're old, I'm in deep trouble.
Well, no, listen, when I'm talking about this Face app, have you not taken the Face app challenge, Frank?
I'm going to pass on that.
You should pass on it because everybody else is doing it, so why should we? It's an app. You download it, and you let it take a picture of you with your camera phone there, and then it uses some sort of algorithm to make you look old. Like it shows you what you could look like when you're 70, 80, 90 years old. So,
oh, Lord.
So you're seeing these things all over, but now it comes out, Frank, that this is a Russian company, and when you give your photos to this app, that they own your photos now. And that we know that Russians cannot be trusted for the very nature of them being Russian. So everybody's freaked out a little bit about what is now happening to their photos and their info. So be careful out there on the internet, Frank.
The nation needs to be very careful because, you know, what's next? Are the Russians going to start meddling in our elections?
I don't know.
Next?
Well, maybe they're using the photos in order to make phony Facebook profiles so they can sow discord once again in 2020 and then meddle in the election. That might be the end game for Vlad Putin. All right, so, hey, you also have to be careful at City Hall these days. What the hell's going on? The place is falling apart. The facade is falling. There's leaks everywhere. What is going on at City Hall?
Well, after almost, 50 years, the Italian marble is starting to come off in bigger and bigger bunches, and you know, we've put a ton of Band-Aids, so to speak, on all the skylights and everything, but, you know, there's just a point where you just can't keep fixing that machine and expecting it to run, and in this case, you can't keep patching the building.
Hold on, Frank. Frank, you do realize that there are buildings way older than 50. So, I mean,
Well, come on, Jake. But all buildings need a lot of maintenance.
Yeah.
And I don't know if too many people that have ever had skylights that didn't spring leaks.
Is
And
it neglect? I mean, what's going on, Frank Colvett Jr.? This is a place where you have to go do the business of the city. You got to take pride in City Hall. This is where people go and they address the council. I mean, you got to take care of the building here. What gives?
Well, in all seriousness, what's going to happen? I know that the city is petitioning for engineering services to find out what a more permanent fix would be instead of just continuously patching. To my knowledge, they've actually made 3 or 4 different patches. But just at the end of the day, we are dealing with an older building, and I think, at some point we're going to have to dig and look into the pocketbook and see what kind of fixes of a more permanent nature are in order. So I think, in all seriousness, this is going to be an ongoing issue, but we're going to have to find a solution pretty daggum quick.
So it's not just the marble outside on the facade that is crumbling, and it also causes kind of a hazard. Getting a chunk of marble in your head walking into the city council meeting would not be fun, but it's also all the leakage. Like, you got a couple of frog stranglers yesterday. The past 2 days, it's been real rainy. So the whole place is just leaking, right?
Well, and remember, the amount of rain we've gotten over really the last 100 or so hours has been abnormal and was a heavier than normal load on the system. But at the end of the day, though, it's like all things. Yes, a lot of businesses come to Memphis looking to relocate, and they're coming to City Hall. And, we cannot be doing the people's business when we've got a whole bunch of buckets and 55-gallon containers catching rain. It's
embarrassing. So what happened? So all the plastic bags that Berlin Boyd is complaining about, did those get stuck in the gutters of City Hall? Is that what's happening? Because you get the big rain? Because you're talking about how the plastic bags are getting in all the systems, right, and causing all kinds of problems. I think that somebody has taken the plastic bags in response to Berlin Boyd's hatred for the plastic bags, and they've shoved them in all the downspouts, and that's why you get all the buildup of a rain, and that's why you got a leaky City Hall. So you're bringing this on yourself with this plastic bag ban. Where are we on that there, Frank?
Well, okay, Berlin. Now, to my knowledge, we haven't found any plastic bags in the gutter system at City Hall. But
I still want to know. I still want to know what systems the plastic bags are messing up, because every time we talk, you're like, "Oh, the plastic bags are a problem. They're messing up our systems." Which ones?
Sewer and drain.
Okay.
They're going into our systems, and as the machines turn and move the water around, they're clogging them up. And that's the really simplistic answer.
All right.
Berlin has withdrawn the plastic bag tax, and we had our second of 3 readings on the ban.
Yes.
And we're really now, and we don't meet again for another 3 weeks. As I've always shared with the nation, the 3rd reading is everything in an ordinance. If you're going to see any amendments, and for lack of better words, the real meat and potatoes start to come out probably now in the next 3 weeks as we start to hear the pros and cons. And I don't think it's going to be an easy answer, because at the end of the day, we've got a $2.5–3 million annual expense to the city of cleaning out our systems of these bags. But on the same token, plastic bags are a very inexpensive option for our supermarkets compared to paper. And so if they have to buy paper and it costs them a lot more, they're going to pass it on to the consumer. And I'm afraid we'll have food deserts. So that's going to be a very tough vote for me.
But also, don't you have a state law that was enacted that prevents any cities in the state of Tennessee from banning plastic bags? I mean, is that not going to be a hurdle as well?
That's exactly correct, and that muddies up the water still further. As everybody knows, of course, federal law trumps state, and state trumps local. Now, the state has passed a law that I read at it yesterday, and it seemed to be very, very clear that no municipality shall pass any sort of ordinance banning the sale, banning the use of. So Berlin's position, if I understand him correctly, is that he wants to pass this in order to go to Nashville and ask them for lack of better words, permission to exempt potentially Memphis and the other large cities. So, again, the next 3 weeks are really going to tell us a lot, because I expect feedback from our friends in Nashville and the state legislature to tell us Okay, this would be very good for Memphis. This would be very bad if Memphis did it. I'm expecting the noise level on this question is going to increase dramatically.
I've got an idea, Frank Colvett Jr., Memphis City Council, because you come to me not only to tell the nation about the ongoing of the city of Memphis in the council meetings, but also, admit it, you come here for solutions sometimes. I mean, you come here
Absolutely.
for ideas, to exchange ideas. How about you take all the plastic bags that are clogging up the sewers and fashion some sort of large tarp, maybe get some of those heat lamps or heat guns, melt them together and use them to patch the roof of City Hall. Because for me, these plastic bags are really useful. I mean, I use them for all kinds of stuff. My kid goes to camp. She puts her wet bathing suit in a plastic bag. You pick up dog crap with them. You do all kinds of stuff with these plastic bags. I think with some creativity and embracing the usefulness of this plastic, I think that we have just solved the leakage problem at City Hall. You and me, just like this, just talking.
Well, look, I'll run down any rabbit hole solution that costs us the least amount of money and actually makes use of something that is currently causing us a problem.
Correct.
And I know you're kind of saying that sort of tongue-in-cheek.
Kind of, not really. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. We'll shove plastic bags in all the leaks and all the holes.
Yeah, and look, I'm willing to run down any rabbit hole of an idea.
Let's go.
At the end of the day, because I am highly concerned. While I take great pride in City Hall, and that is a very pivotal function and place to locate business. Businesses want to relocate here; they come to meet us. But so you don't want a leaky roof. But at the same time, I'm very concerned that the cost of removing that marble and the cost of getting that building back up to speed is going to be extremely expensive.
Well, it's
and
also
that's something we're going to have to budget for.
It's also more than that. Frank Colvett Jr. Memphis is got to get ready for its close-up. All right, Bluff City Law is going to start filming here very soon. 72 days from about now until October. And they're trying to get picked up for a full season. You're thinking that the City Hall would be a great establishing shot, maybe, to say, hey, this is us. This is Memphis. This is a NBC legal drama. If they're going to get a shot of City Hall and the marbles cracking off, that will not abide. This is a big deal, Frank.
I agree, but like all things, until I see a final price and we budgeted for it, Jake and the nation, I completely agree with you. It's a beautiful building. It's amazing. But at the same time, if the price tag is for a new skin and a roof like that, say, I don't know, 15, 20 million, say it's some huge, huge number. Well, obviously we need to budget for that, and there can't be a tax increase. So we've got to figure out exactly how to budget for these things to be good stewards of the money. It's like my veterans parking idea yesterday. You have great ideas, but at the end of the day, how much does it cost?
That's right.
That to me is the trump card.
Yeah, it's what kind of government you want versus what kind of government you want to pay for. Now, what's about veterans parking? This is something I've never heard of before.
Well, we came up with. I was actually at Lowe's shopping about a month ago, and I saw the signs that had the handicap parking signs on them.
Sure.
Well, I saw a pole and a sign that at Lowe's that was dedicated strictly for parking for the United States veterans only. And I thought, that's a great idea. It would be too expensive of a proposition to ask all businesses in Memphis to do that. But I thought, well, how much would it cost to dedicate one parking space to our veterans by sign at all city parks, tennis, any and all City of Memphis facilities? And so we talked about it and batted it around, and we found the money in the budget, and we're going to start implementing that immediately, again, in all of our city-owned properties. It's not something we're going to fine you for because there's no way to, prove that you're a veteran or that people keep ID on them. But it's one of those things. It's just it's our way of saying thank you to those who served and gave us this opportunity, just to make their life a little easier, a shorter walk.
I like it. That's it's an idea that you take sometimes from the private sector. You see Lowe's doing it, and word gets out. I think you're going to see a lot more people doing that too. Frank Colvett Jr., Memphis City Council. One more thing, Frank. Going back to Bluff City Law, coming into Memphis to do the filming for the TV show. How much money, or what kind of subsidies or incentives did they get from the city of Memphis? Do you recall?
I don't recall the exact number. I've asked staff to send me the information because I've heard some tale that they may not be paying a living wage.
They're not. They've got a call for extras to be in Bluff City Law, and they're paying $75 for an 8-hour workday, which by my calculations, I got the calculator out, is like $9.37 an hour. And we know from recent events that the living wage in Memphis is $11.02. And then we've got County Mayor Lee Harris. He's over there strong-arming President Rudd at U of M to pay people $15 an hour. So this $15 an hour is the magical living wage, but these folks getting subsidies from the city, county, and state to film Bluff City Law, they're only paying extras like $9.25, $9.30 an hour. So that's inconsistent, man. You can't do that.
Well, I think the first approach to this is let's see what the incentives are, because I know there were incentives. Then part two, what are the rules and regulations? Because I'm sure they have, between the Actors Guild and all that, I'm sure they have pay scales and whatnot. And then I think the part three is to ask them, I would say at first, is this true? What is your goal? Why are you doing it this way? I mean, before I think it was a ready, fire, aim to just demand somebody pay $15 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
If you came to my day job at Greenscape and said, well, you're just going to pay everybody $15 an hour because you have a contract from this municipality or this government agency, and I did not budget for it, and you did not tell me on the front end, that's not fair. So I think there's a little more digging to be done on that to see what the rules are, what the incentives are. Was there anything in our incentive package that requires them to pay $15 an hour?
No, forget all that, Frank. I'm talking about this. People deserve $15 an hour. That'll make all your problems go away. That's a living wage. People deserve dignity and respect. $15 an hour, no matter what you're doing. You're a custodian, you're a janitor, you're a ditch digger, you're an extra in Bluff City Law. You deserve $15 an hour. It has been written. Don't you know? Don't you read the news? Don't you read the paper? Don't you listen to Lee Harris, what's going on in the county? $15 an hour. That's it. It's a magic number.
To the nation, the federal minimum wage act is a little bit less than that, obviously.
Sure, but the living wage, the dignity, Frank, it's $15 an hour.
Part two, my day job, if I paid all of my associates $15 an hour starting, we would be out of business. I mean, in the private sector, the landscaping business, and this is just for example, that's not possible. And also, I would point out, on several wage scales for the federal government, there are many classifications under $15 an hour. So, I get where the mayor is coming from. I understand it.
Really?
Politics is politics. Politics is politics, but until the federal government, until the requirements come in and tell me $15 an hour is the required, then I pay what the market will bear. And I think that's how our economy functions best. Not when the government tells you have to do something, but when the market dictates how to what the market will bear and how to be successful.
Yeah, Shelby County Commission, I think they just passed some resolution to pay everybody $15 an hour. It's real easy to do when you're using other people's money, and that's what Shelby County is doing. Shelby County, they pay employees with taxpayer dollars. They don't pay with their own money. They're not running their own business. They're not putting their own money down. So for me, it's just, I'm with you, man. The market dictates the wage, not Mayor Lee Harris or any other mayor or governor or whoever it is. It's all market based. All right. Hey, Frank, I got to go, but I appreciate you stopping by, and I hope that you guys stay dry 3 weeks from now when you go to City Hall.
Jake, I always appreciate it. To the nation, have a great day.
All right, brother. Frank Colvett Jr., Memphis City Council. Good to catch up with him. We are going to catch up on the headlines on the news cruise. We'll do it next right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
CBS News Update. A rebuke of President Trump's racist comments wasn't enough for Texas Democrat Al Green, and he's pushing for a vote on an impeachment resolution. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
For an impeachment, articles of impeachment to succeed, I haven't really actually seen his articles of impeachment, but are they that racism? We'll deal with that resolution on the floor.
The vote could come today, but it is not expected to pass. CBS's Ed O'Keefe says Pelosi wants to move more slowly on it.
She pointed out there are 6 committees that are looking into various aspects of the president, his administration, or his own personal or professional background that could ultimately be fodder for some kind of an immigration movement, but she's not there yet. And I think what she was trying to signal there a little earlier was slow your roll, everybody. If we're going to do this, it's going to happen methodically and not until the fall at the earliest.
CBS News Update, I'm Pam Coulter.
ATC Fitness would like to announce their new partnership with Silver Sneakers. That's right, ATC Fitness now accepts Silver Sneakers members. ATC Fitness is your local, family-owned 24-hour gym. Get started on the right track with their easy-to-follow instructions and demonstrations. Remember, if you are a Silver Sneakers member, come to any ATC Fitness throughout the Mid-South. Check them out online at atcfitness.com to find the nearest location to you.
Stop everything you're doing right now and ask yourself, are you currently receiving steady paychecks? What about when you're retired? Will you receive a monthly check to cover your expenses and also have some fun? Dan Groban and Phil Menard at Servant Advisors Group call this mailbox money. It's the monthly check you'll receive throughout retirement. They want to help remove stress from your retirement. They don't want you to worry about if the money will show up or how much money you'll receive. The only thing they want you to think about is how to spend it when it arrives. Find out how to get enough money in your mailbox every month when you're retired. Call Servant Advisors Group at 855-260-1000 for a complimentary retirement analysis with strategies that could help your nest egg provide you monthly income you'll need in retirement. Call right now, 855-260-1000. Servant Wealth Management is a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Servant Advisors Group, LLC. Insurance licensed in Tennessee, Mississippi, and in Arkansas.
This is Clark Howard. You know, bankers every day wake up thinking, what new fee can we dream up? What new gotcha can we create to take advantage of our customers? And that's why credibility of banks, trust in them, is so extremely low. Well, one of the larger banks in the country, Discover Bank, has decided they're going to eliminate all gotchas, all junk fees entirely. That if you do business with Discover Bank, it's going to be a straight up clean deal. And we've looked through other banks that claim that they have no fees, and nobody hits the full free deal that Discover has. So if you're looking for a place where you're not going to get thrown a curveball, where they're not going to take advantage of your wallet, look there. And if you're an investor, similar kind of offers available from Charles Schwab.
The backyard's looking great, Rob. Thanks, man. I was planning on adding a deck, too. Know any good contractors? Why don't you just ask Home Advisor? Home what? HomeAdvisor.com. You just tell them about your project and they match you with local pros that can do the job. Nice. Now, how much does it cost? Oh, Home Advisor's totally free to use. Plus, you can read customer reviews, check pricing, and book appointments for free. What's the website again? HomeAdvisor.com. Or just download the free Home Advisor app.
Home Advisor.
Have you heard what President Trump said recently?
Newsmax, you like Newsmax. I like it too.
Now you can watch Newsmax TV and get the truth about Trump from Bill O'Reilly, Mike Reagan, Alan Dershowitz, Pat Buchanan, and more. Newsmax TV is America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in 70 million homes. Find Newsmax on DirecTV, Dish, Xfinity, Spectrum, Optimum, Fios, Uverse, and more systems. See Newsmax TV today. It's real news for real people.
All right, welcome back to it.
Yes, have some.
It's the Nation of Jake on The Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990, online, KWAMTheVoice.com. And we're streaming live on YouTube, the YouTube channel, Nation of Jake. Run it all together, no spaces, Nation of Jake. We got Facebook, we got Twitter as well, at Nation of Jake. And we've got a news cruise to get to. Let's hop on board. It's a leisurely look at the headlines. It will not be a long trip today. We have a little hole in our hull. Whole thing could go down.
News. Exciting and new.
Gotta get the halyard back in the halyard holder. Can't do that out here. No.
We're expecting you. The news cruise, full of exciting news. The news cruise. So relax and kick off your shoes.
All right. News Cruise brought to you by our friends at Just Windows Home Services. Get a free estimate from Just Windows, 751-3934. 20% off if you tell them Nation of Jake sent you. They can clean your windows, gutters, blinds, ceiling fans. They do pressure washing. You got a light bulb way up high. Anything you need done on the inside or outside of your house that you don't want to do, just ask Just Windows to come do it, and they likely will. A whole host of services. You can get a complete rundown of what they offer at justwindowsmemphis.com. Again, 20% off when you mention Nation of Jake. All right, first up here on the News Cruise, Memphis Police Department says that juvenile arrests are up 68%, and you'll never guess the reason why. Memphis police say the arrests of juveniles are up 68%. They say the higher numbers are a combination of more juveniles involved in crime and more arrests. Really, I like the way they articulate the rise in juvenile arrests. Why are there more juvenile arrests? Well, we're arresting more juveniles. Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for the clarification. Now there's all these stories. What, the two teenagers who tried to rob a woman over in East Memphis, like broad daylight, 10:30 a.m. in her driveway. Just getting bold, are you? Top Golf. I hear a lot about Top Golf. I know there's one in Vegas. I know there are more Top Golfs around the country. Top Golf is what? It's like a golf entertainment place, driving range, do all kinds of. They're looking to open one up here in Memphis. They want to open up in downtown or midtown. They are scouting locations. One of the locations is the former commercial appeal site, 495 Union Avenue. Man, that was the commercial appeal forever. Old Michael Donahue walking those halls, his hair just flowing, back in the 70s and 80s when they were all partying at the CA, all those legendary journalists, and now media is dead, and they're going to turn the old CA into a Top Golf. Perhaps, maybe. It has been confirmed that Top Golf is looking to expand into Memphis. I know a lot of Top Golf fans who will be excited about that. Check this out. Reverend Bill Owens, a former Memphis pastor who heads the Coalition of African American Pastors, is calling on Nike to end its relationship with Colin Kaepernick. He's angry. He's angry that Colin Kaepernick is now the chief product officer for Nike and that he discontinued the Betsy Ross shoes that Nike was supposed to have on sale for the July 4th holiday. In his letter to the president of Nike, Reverend Bill Owens wrote that Colin Kaepernick's views are fringe opinions. He says removing the Betsy Ross flag shoes at his behest implies that your company shares his negative view of America, its founders, and the woman who designed the first flag, he wrote. For a long time, sport has been something that brings Americans together. Nike has been one of the companies we associate with Team USA. Please don't tarnish that legacy by continuing to cater to anti-American politics. So that is not a perspective that you often hear from, say, a group of African Americans. But the Coalition of African Americans, African American pastors, used to be Memphis-based, but now they have moved on to Henderson, Nevada, right outside of Vegas. So Bill Owens calling on Nike to dump Kaepernick. All right, we've got the second candidate now for Mississippi governor will not be alone with a woman who is not his wife. Representative Robert Foster last week said if a woman journalist wanted to ride in his truck for campaign coverage, she's got to bring a dude with him. He's not going to be around a woman who is not his wife alone. Well, now we've got another man running for governor. He says, nope, not going to meet alone with a woman who is not my wife. Open myself up for problems there. Appearances are important, he says. This would be former Mississippi Supreme Court Justice Bill Waller Jr., and it's really, hey, look, if I'm alone with a woman and she says that I tried something, it's my word against hers. So I'd rather there be somebody else there to corroborate whatever went on. And that might be sexist. It might say, oh, you just have a distrust of women, or, oh, you can't control yourself around women, or you got an inflated sense of self where you think that women just can't control themselves around you. I don't know. Doesn't want to be alone with a woman who's not his wife. I mean, it's kind of weird. That said, I mean, I don't think it makes him a bad guy, but that offends a lot of people. It's a really odd thing to get all worked up over. Oh, and then here we go. We'll leave it with this. This is probably the goofy outrage story du jour. Just kind of like people going crazy on the internet. Yahoo is facing heavy criticism for an article they wrote calling actor Chris Pratt a white supremacist because he wore a t-shirt with the Gadsden flag. You know, the Gadsden flag is the Don't Tread on Me flag. Now, Pratt, best known as Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy, and also Owen from Jurassic World, was seen wearing the t-shirt featuring the American flag with a coiled rattlesnake with the text, Don't Tread on Me. It's the Gadsden flag. It was created by American General Christopher Gadsden back in 1775 during the Revolutionary War. It was meant to symbolize liberty and freedom. But Yahoo Movies UK criticized Chris Pratt for his white supremacist t-shirt, stated, although it's one of the symbols and flags used by the U.S. men's soccer team, the band Metallica, as well as some libertarian groups, over the years the flag has been adopted by far-right political groups like the Tea Party, as well as gun-toting supporters of the Second Amendment. So Tea Partiers are for low taxes. Second Amendment supporters are for the Second Amendment. Why? How is that white supremacist? They say it has therefore become a symbol of more conservative and far-right individuals, and according to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission of the U.S., it is also sometimes interpreted to convey racially tinged messages in some contexts. So, there might be, maybe, some racially tinged messages in some contexts where somebody might display a Gadsden flag. Therefore, Chris Pratt is white supremacist. Unbelievable. Unbelievable mental gymnastics that they will use to crap on Chris Pratt. Who is the best of the Chris's with regards to the Avengers and the Marvel movies? It goes number 1, Chris Pratt, number 2, Chris Hemsworth, and then number 5, Chris Evans. Captain America is 5 out of 3 on the Chris list. Oh my God, we gotta go. We have taken too long on the news cruise. We gotta wrap things up and hand you over to Earl Farrell for the Earl Farrell program. But I got a great email from Paul about being a movie extra. Paul was in one of the most iconic films of all time, and he describes his experience as an extra on the set of this iconic film. We'll do that quickly next, right here in the Nation of Jake.
The Voice, KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
The Voice is proud to turn our spotlight on Bartlett all this week. Bartlett was first called Union Depot and Green Bottom and was the last major stagecoach stop by 1830. In 1866, with a population of less than 100, the city was officially incorporated and the name changed to Bartlett. Now, Bartlett is Shelby County's 2nd and Tennessee's 10th largest city. Bartlett still preserves the small town spirit with a well-balanced city touch. Today, the landscape of Bartlett has changed as agriculture became second to business and industry. Bartlett, a growing community, keeping a small town atmosphere and continually enhancing the quality of life. Spotlight on Bartlett brought to you in part by these great businesses.
Find the entire line of the Hustler residential and commercial zero-turn mowers at Bartlett Small Engines at 6780 Summer Avenue. Bartlett Small Engine. It's July and Design Jewelers is offering hot sizzling pricings on their jewelry. Start your layaway for Christmas. Design Jewelers, 3135 Kirby Witten Parkway in Bartlett for 30 years.
If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, stop. Don't do anything until you talk to my man, James Underwood. James Underwood has been helping people like you navigate the Mid-South real estate market for more than a decade. So whether you're looking to buy your first home or you want to upgrade to your forever home, James Underwood can help make it happen. No gimmicks, no guarantees, just a rock-solid guy that I've known for 25 years. So now, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, hit up James Underwood with CryLike. JamesUnderwood.crylike.com. That's JamesUnderwood.crylike.com.
When you're planning an event and need on-time delivery, call Odell Sanders. Sanders Catering has been in business for 31 years, specializing in breakfast, lunch, dinners, corporate, and social events. When you need a caterer to work with your budget, call Odell Sanders at 901-372-2631 or visit them online at sanderscatering.com and take a look at their menu. Sanders Catering, a leader in catering services. Call today at 901-372-2631. Whatever you may be interested in, chances are you can find some valuable information in the July edition of The Best Times, now available on your local newsstand. Don't miss articles about elder abuse, the dangers of using marijuana, the value of lifelong learning, the myth of taking vitamin D to reduce development of type 2 diabetes, which CDs are best for you, legal documents that everyone should have to protect their assets, and so much more. The Best Times is available at all Kroger and CVS pharmacies. Get your copy today.
Taste buds, are you ready for the scrumptious, amazing treats from J Bear Bake Shop in Bartlett? They have apple lace bread pudding, ooey gooeys, even vegan, vanilla, and gluten-free chocolate cupcakes. Plus, their traditional favorites, strawberry, red velvet cupcakes, and sticky buns, and everything has a J Bear twist. Whether it's designing a custom cake or introducing a new flavor, stop by and have the very best J Bear Bake Shop, 7124 US 64 Bartlett.
All right, welcome back to the Nation of Jake.
Yes, have some.
On The Voice, FM 107.9, AM 990, online, KWAMTheVoice.com. Streaming live on YouTube for a few minutes more. There I am, and there you are, Nation of Jake on YouTube. We'll have the Nation of Jake podcast uploaded and ready for streamer download in just a little bit. All right, so we were talking about being a movie extra or being a TV extra, an extra in Bluff City Law. They are looking for extras to be on the program. It's going to pay you $75 for 8 hours of work, which is about $9.30 or so an hour, far below the magical living wage of $15 an hour mandated by Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris. I would like to get a statement from Lee Harris about the tax incentives given to Bluff City Law, even though they're paying the extras way below the $15 an hour. Paul, who listens to the program, Paul Stackpole, he's been a supporter of the Nation of Jake for a long time. He always contributes something useful to the program. He just emailed me this. He wrote, "Hi, Jake, in 1987, I was an extra in the Monster Squad." And so I'm like, holy crap, 1987, I was like 9 years old. The Monster Squad is one of the best movies of all time. Scary German guy, Wolfman's got nards, the whole deal. Monster Squad was awesome. So Paul, my buddy here, was in the Monster Squad. He said that they were paid $100 a day for the first 8 hours and got overtime after that. So I guess my question is, how does an extra on the Monster Squad in 1987 get $100 for an 8-hour day? And then in year of our Lord 2019, an extra for Bluff City Law gets $75 for an 8-hour day. How has the pay for movie extras gone down? Maybe it's just they're not in as high demand. Maybe Monster Squad paid a premium for extras. Maybe Paul had some sort of quality. He was the fresh face. And they're like, hey, we need you in this scene. And at the end, when all the cavalry comes in, after they open up the portal and send Dracula with the amulet back to the nether regions or wherever the hell. So, he tells a story. He says it was boring. It was tedious. They got some great catered meals. I guess they got some good stuff from craft services. But when they shot a close-up of Paul, he says, and they said that when the final cut of the movie, a millisecond, you see his face for a millisecond as he, I guess, let the bolt go home on his M16A1, I should say. So I'm going to go watch the Monster Squad tonight to see if I can see Paul, just because I love the Monster Squad. It'd be a great excuse to watch that movie again. But yeah, I'd like to get a statement maybe from Shelby County Mayor Lee Harris as to why he would allow subsidies to go to a production that pays people less than $15 an hour. I mean, he won't let U of M build their swimming facility with $1 million from the county without paying custodians that much. Maybe we'll get him on the program to talk about it. Earl's up next. I'll be back tomorrow. So long, and thanks for all the fish.
CBS News at the top of every hour and the most local talk in the Mid-South. This is KWAM Memphis.